Learn English through story. The Merchant and the Starry Night. In a land where the desert sands stretched endlessly beneath a vast, starry sky, there lived a wealthy merchant named Omar. Omar was known throughout the land for his vast fortune, accumulated through years of shrewd trading. His caravans traversed the desert, bringing exotic goods from distant lands to the bustling markets of his city. Yet despite his wealth, Omar was restless. He longed for something more, something that his riches could not buy. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned from orange to deep blue, Omar wandered out into the desert alone. He had done this often lately, feeling a pull toward the silence and solitude of the vast expanse beyond the city. That night, he found himself walking farther than usual, until the city lights were just a distant glow on the horizon. As the stars began to twinkle overhead, Omar sat down on a dune and gazed up at the sky. The stars, thousands upon thousands of them, seemed to stretch on forever. Omar had seen the stars many times before, but that night they seemed different and more vivid, more alive. They filled him with a sense of awe and wonder that he hadn't felt in years. Lost in the beauty of the night sky, Omar began to reflect on his life. He had everything he could ever want: wealth, power, influence, but something was missing. The stars seemed to whisper to him, urging him to seek out the truth that lay beyond material wealth. For the first time, Omar realized that his restless heart was searching for something more profound than gold and silver. The next morning, Omar returned to the city with a new resolve. He decided to seek out the wisest people in the land, hoping they could help him understand the meaning of the message he had felt beneath the stars. He visited scholars, philosophers, and religious leaders, asking them the same question: what is the true meaning of life? Each of them gave him different answers. Some spoke of knowledge and the pursuit of wisdom, others of faith and devotion to a higher power, and still others of the importance of love and relationships. But none of these answers satisfied Omar. They all seemed incomplete, fragmented, as if each person had only a small piece of a much larger puzzle. Disheartened, Omar decided to leave the city once again. This time, he planned to journey far beyond the desert, to the lands of the East, where it was said that the greatest sage of all lived, a man named Arif, who was reputed to have unlocked the secrets of the universe. Omar set out with a small caravan, determined to find the sage and discover the answer to his burning question. The journey was long and arduous. Omar's caravan crossed treacherous mountains, navigated dense forests, and braved wild rivers. Along the way, they encountered many hardships, but Omar was driven by his desire for truth. After many months of travel, they finally reached the remote village where the sage Arif lived. Omar was led to a modest hut at the edge of the village. Inside, he found the sage sitting in quiet meditation. Arif was an old man, his face lined with years of experience, but his eyes sparkled with a youthful energy. Omar bowed respectfully and told the sage of his long journey and his quest for the meaning of life. Arif listened patiently, and when Omar finished speaking, the sage smiled. "You have come a long way to find what you seek," he said, "but the answer you are looking for is not something I can simply tell you. It is something you must experience for yourself." Omar was taken aback. "But I have traveled so far and endured so much to find you. Surely you can share your wisdom with me." Arif nodded. "Indeed, I can share my wisdom, but wisdom is not the same as truth. The truth of life cannot be found in words or teachings alone. It is something that must be lived, felt, and understood deep within your heart." The sage then stood and led Omar outside. Together, they walked to the top of a nearby hill, where the view of the surrounding landscape was breathtaking. The sun was setting, and the sky was once again filled with stars. "Look at the stars," Arif said, gesturing to the sky. "They are beautiful, aren't they? But what makes them so?" Omar thought for a moment. "Their beauty lies in their vastness, their mystery, and the way they light up the darkness of the night." Arif nodded. "Yes, but there is more. The stars are beautiful because they remind us of the infinite, of something far greater than ourselves. They are a reflection of the universe's majesty and our small place within it. When you look at the stars, you feel connected to that vastness, don't you?" Omar nodded, feeling the same sense of awe he had felt on that night in the desert. "The true meaning of life," Arif continued, "is much like the stars. It is not something that can be captured in a single thought, a single word, or a single teaching. It is the recognition of the infinite, the connection to something greater than yourself. It is found in the moments of stillness, in the silence of your heart, and in the way you live your life." Omar was silent, letting the sage's words sink in. He realized that he had been searching for an answer outside of himself, but the truth had been with him all along. It was in the stars, in the desert, in the quiet moments when he had let go of his worldly concerns and simply existed in the present. "You do not need to seek the truth," Arif said softly. "You need only to be open to it. Let go of your need for control, for certainty, for answers. Live with an open heart, and the truth will reveal itself to you in its own time." Omar felt a deep sense of peace wash over him. He had been so focused on finding an answer that he had missed the beauty of the journey itself. He thanked the sage for his guidance and returned to his caravan, feeling lighter and more at ease than he had in years. As he made his way back to his city, Omar began to see the world with new eyes. He noticed the beauty in the small things, the way the light filtered through the trees, the laughter of children playing, the gentle breeze on his face. He realized that the true meaning of life was not something to be found or possessed, but something to be experienced and lived with an open heart. When Omar returned to his city, he was a changed man. He continued his work as a merchant, but his priorities shifted. He began to focus more on the people around him, on building relationships, and on finding joy in the simple moments of life. His wealth no longer defined him. Instead, it became a tool for doing good in the world. In time, Omar's restlessness faded, replaced by a deep sense of contentment. He had found what he was searching for not in a distant land, but within himself, and every night, as he gazed up at the stars, he was reminded of the infinite beauty of the universe and the profound truth that lay within it. The story of Omar and the Starry Night teaches us that the search for meaning is not a journey to a distant place but a journey within. True meaning is found not in wealth, power, or even knowledge, but in the way we live our lives, in the connections we make, and in the moments when we open our hearts to the infinite. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.